Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. And I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. That's right. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. And if you like the live stream, don't forget to hit subscribe. I knew I forgot something. Forgot to turn the camera on. Come on. There we go. And last, but actually most important today, if you want to support the show and you want to get a Reaver shirt, which I really suggest that you go pick up a Reaver shirt. If you don't know what a Reaver shirt is, go to Reaver.one/shop. Or you can just click the shop button on the top of the page and go to the new Reaver of Common Sense store. You can pick up t-shirts, still the coffee mugs. You can still get your little handbags and a host of t-shirts to choose from. I decided, I don't like that I don't have control over my t-shirts. So, I will be doing them in-house now. Yes, I'll be making my shirts in-house. That's going to be an endeavor, but I'd rather do things myself. So please go to Reaver, REAVER.one/shop. SHOP. It's that simple. And then just go look. You don't have to buy today. If you want to buy, go ahead and buy. But if you just want to look around today, go ahead. How was everybody's weekend? Mine was pretty good. I did my normal stay away from everything. Got a nice recharge going. Hang on. Sneezy. So, half the voters distrust government on gun control after Orlando terror attacks. And I don't know what the hell the other fucking half is thinking. The other half, this is not a gun control issue. This is not some nut job that decided to go on a killing spree. This is a terrorist. This is what they do. I got allergies bothering me today. Allergies never bother me. Oh my. So I just happened to look over, I got the news up, and it seems that Hillary took a additional 2-point lead on Trump. The one thing that has me questioning about all these polls, whenever you see these rallies, and you hear about the rallies, Hillary Clinton's got 5,000 people that show up. Trump's got 50,000 people that show up. But yet you're telling me that the polls are lopsided. Number one, I'm wondering if they're purposely fudging these polls up. And just bear with me. And they're trying to make Trump the underdog. Because that seems to be when he has that underdog label, he does his best. And the people rally behind him as the underdog. See where I'm not saying, oh, it's some big conspiracy, yada, yada, yada. I'm just wondering if they're purposely putting out wrong polls information, saying, hey, he does better as a... Damn. He does better as a underdog. And I don't know. We'll see. And the other part is, I think there's a lot of people who see the attacks and harassment people get by admitting that they are a Trump supporter. So I wonder if they're just being quiet right now. I know some people that are like that. They will not admit that they back Trump because they do not want the harassment that comes with it. So, all right, back to half the voters distrust government on gun control after Orlando news attack or terror attack. An NBC News WSJ poll conducted after the Orlando terror attack shows half of the voters distrust the government on gun control. The start date for conducting the poll, June 19th, was 1 week after the attack that killed 49 people at the Pulse Orlando nightclub. According to NBC's News, 50% of the voters believe the government will go too far in restricting gun rights, while 47% believe the government will not do enough. And I've talked about it, and I don't understand, and people are still running their mouths. And it pisses me off when you have idiots like that Kevin Foley last week who are willing to give up other people's rights, other people's constitutional. We're not even talking Second Amendment rights here. We are, but we're not totally. We're talking due process, the right to fair trials, having to have proof, putting the burden of proof on the government. And they're willing to give all that up just to have an illusion of safety. So that jackass, Kevin Foley, is willing to give up his image or illusion. He wants that illusion, I should say, of safety, and he's willing to give up other people's constitutional rights to do so. On the name of this, if you ban certain guns and add all these laws, people will stop shooting each other. Newsflash, they're not going to stop shooting each other. Well, we are at the lowest gun violence on record. And the gun control is at some of its loosest in a long time. You take guns away from people, and it's not even the fact that they have to pull their guns out. It's the fact that the criminals know that these people are armed, and they're not going to act on it. They want an easy route. That's why they're criminals. They want an easy way to money in whatever. Damn. I'm telling you, allergies. So if you have just the thought that these people are armed, they're not going to do stuff. These soft targets are all over the country, and there's millions of these gun-free zones. I don't know. it's it just drives me up a wall. People are willing to give up other people's rights. They don't want to give up their rights. They want to give up other people's rights. And what they don't realize is, as they're giving up other people's rights, they are giving up their rights because they can start winding up on these lists. And once you start setting a precedent, there is a legal precedent, the government is going to take it further and further and further. And they have this stupid look that they think, oh, the government won't do that. The government's not going to do that. The government will treat us fairly. Dumbasses. The government is going to take away your rights just as quick as they are taking away everybody else's rights, you dumbass. Yeah, I just... drives me up a wall. Drives me up a friggin' wall. I mean, what are they thinking here? They're not thinking, that's the problem. They're not thinking. So this other, 47% that want more done. And despite the relentless Democrat push to ban the assault weapons, in the wake of Orlando, 49% of the voters said such a ban is not worth it because it will not stop the attackers from getting the weapons they need. A smaller group of voters, 45%, believe the ban is worthwhile. Well, explain to me this. How come it never worked? It has never, ever, ever worked. And you know what? You want to know how I know? Because they're like, it's worth a try. Why not try it? We've done it before. And gun crime actually went up. And it didn't do shit to stop crime. That's why the ban was never reinstated. Stats are there. They just don't want to. What the hell's running in the background? It's almost time to redo the computer. Yeah, every now and then I'd like to delete, reinstall. My question is, I got that free version of Windows 10. Well, if I have to reinstall, will it still be good? Because they're getting ready to shut down that free version. But banning guns is not going to stop. And I like, because there's actually, I'm looking at stats, and the gay community is actually arming itself now at a higher than it did before. They're going after concealed carry permits. The only thing I got to say about that, people, just because you take that one class does not make you trained in firearms. If you can't afford to hire an instructor, go to the shooting range, get friends with one of these guys. Like someone shooting that you see is being responsible, that they know how to handle guns. Start talking around. You'll find out who the people are. And usually they don't mind helping new shooters. There's actually a website out there where these people are registering, willing to help and to train these people and give them knowledge. You got to take it further than you have now. Taking that first class is not the only class. Going out shooting, you need to shoot often. You need to become proficient in that weapon. You have to know that weapon. It may be an inanimate object, but each gun shoots differently, handles differently. And why do you think people go out shooting so much? For one, it is enjoyable, but also they're training with that weapon. They're getting used to it. They want to make sure when they point it a certain way and it reacts a certain way, and they know everything about it. The pro gunners just aren't out there, these nut jobs that just want to go out and start killing people. No. I can't speak for all of them, but a majority of us don't ever want to have to pull our weapon. I never want to have to pull my weapon. But you know what? I want it to be there when I need it. Because if you don't have it that one time you need it, you may never get another chance to be put in that situation because you may not be alive. I'm looking over the news and the violence going on in this country. There's clashes all over the place. And the left is laughing. This is their MO. This is what they want. And they've been training these groups and, getting these groups going for years. And why? Why do you have to cover your face up? If you're so just in your cause, why do you have to cover your face up? They say the right and the NRA is more like the terrorist groups. Well, I don't see us covering our faces up. But what I do see is your left group covering your face up like terrorists. These people are running around with their flags, hitting people. Taking the poles and hitting people with it. Now, I don't agree with the groups that were there protesting, but they have a right to. And then you had these groups showing up, kill the Nazis, kill the fascists, all that. And they're the ones that had the weapons. These leftist groups went there knowing they were going to cause violence. They went there armed. I don't agree with the groups that were protesting, but they have a right to protest. And it is the left wing that is now violent group. I don't want to say now. They've been violent. They were violent in the 60s. They're violent now. And they're getting worse. It's absolutely mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. And then they claim that they are the victims. Especially if they get their ass handed to them, they are the victims. But they claim they get upset when freedom of speech, they're not allowed it, but they sure as hell take it away from other people. They sure as hell are willing to take constitutional rights. And that's the left. They are taking constitutional rights from everybody anymore. The left were the ones mocking everybody about a new civil war, and they're the ones getting violent. They're the ones that looks like that are trying to start a civil war. Well, first off, that's why they want to ban our weapons. They want to ban the weapons so they have easy targets. And if the American people wanted to be disarmed, they wouldn't have bought weapons at a record pace again. I think one gun shop, I didn't go into the whole article. It's not like 30,000 AR-15s went off the shelf in his store. People are buying them up. The only thing Obama's done to the gun culture, God, I wish I had the money. Like when these events happen, and I hate to put it like this, it's not the events, and I would never do it. It's a point I'm making. To buy stock in these companies. Yeah, I do wish I could buy stock in these companies. Why? Because every time these things happen and Obama shoots his mouth off, the guns go off the shelf, the stocks skyrocket. He's done more. He's been their number one gun salesman for 7.5 years running. I mean, I know it's been a joke and a smart-ass comment about that, but in some ways it's the truth. He's been the number one gun salesman. He's done more for guns than Chinese have done for guns. And if you don't understand that, no. Who invented gunpowder? Without gunpowder, there is no guns. So now we also have Rubio out there. And he says that Trump's Muslim ban, mass deportation, that's not going to happen. Sunday on CBS's Face the Nation, former presidential candidate Senator Marco Rubio said presumptive Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump's proposal of a temporary ban on Muslims entering the United States or mass deportation of undocumented immigrants living and working in America are not going to happen. This shows point blank there is really not much of a Democrat Party or Republican Party. I know they have all these arguments, and the biggest difference is guns anymore. Other than that, they are the same fucking party. It's elitists versus the nationalists. That's what it seems to be anymore. Not Democrats versus Republicans. They both want to bring in this globalist, one world nation fucking bullshit that everybody's against, and they keep pushing for. And they think because they got a strong argument, they keep getting reelected, but they've been hiding it. They've been hiding that fact. Well, now it's kind of getting out there. And these globalists are really, this globalist elitist group, and Rubio's one of them. And let me tell you, I live in Florida, ain't no way I'm voting for him. No way I'm voting for him. Well, it depends who's running against them. And that's scary. But it's... I'm not going to run. I'm running. I'm not going to run. I'm running. And a temporary ban and a mass deportation, that's easy. And Donald said it. It's not going to be everything we're pushing them out. It's also going to be, hey, you cut off the jobs, they will leave on their own. Well, it's getting that time for a break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back after these messages.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, at Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
And remember, if you want to become a Reaverite, just go to reaver.one/shop. That's reaver.one/shop and pick up your own Reaver t-shirt, Southside Mutt t-shirt, and so many others to choose from. Make sure you go to reaver.one/shop. Out of the ashes of liberal rises the phoenix born onto the Red Nation Rising Radio Network coming July 4th, 2016. One of the many serving this great phoenix of Red Nation Rising Network is the one, the only Jersey Joe. Jersey Joe is bringing his Reaver of Common Sense show to the birth of a new Red Nation Rising Radio Network.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its host, the Jersey Boy. boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I am making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As I argue with the mic stand again. I hate this mic stand. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to reaver.one. That is REAVER.ONE. Again, if you're watching a broadcast, you'll catch me looking over at the TV. Right now, I got it on C-SPAN, and I am watching things going on in the Parliament. We're going to discuss it a little bit, but we'll get to it. They're talking about how some people want to revote and rules changed. The Prime Minister just basically told them, no, the results are the results, and that's how we're going. There's a lot of sore losers. I can't put it any better than that. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. They're sore losers, and that's what we got going on in this country. And I laugh because, what was it, Obama was bitching the other day about how the Supreme Court got it wrong, and he's going to ignore what they had to say about immigration. But the Supreme Court ruling for abortion, which he's for, they got that one right. And nobody should argue it. No one's allowed to argue it. Has anybody noticed that when it's a ruling in their favor, nobody can argue it? It's done. It's over with. Stop crying. And I've actually heard him say that. But when in the rulings against him, he sits there and whines and cries about it. They got it wrong. And all that. And thank God, Jenna. Jenna's cousin got in a bad accident last night, but she came down pretty much unharmed due to airbags. And Obama will whine about it. And it drives me up a wall. Just be like, hey, I don't agree with it, but that's what the Supreme Court has ruled. We will move on. We'll see what we could do. I'm not giving up on the subject, but we will see how we can do it so that we stay within the Constitution. Nope, he doesn't do that. He whines and cries. But when the ruling goes in his favor, he tells people to shut up. Yeah, that's the way to go. So, this was added in last minute. Yeah, exactly, Jenna. Your cousins have had it bad. She said another one that was in a motorcycle wreck and just not good. I wish your family some better luck to come and stuff. It's never easy. But this article was put in the last minute. I saw it right before getting on air. But the Islamic State in Mosul released a video on Sunday coinciding with the San Francisco Gay Pride Parade, foreshadowing what appears to be a plan to attack the city as well as Las Vegas or Sin City. The video shows footage of the Golden Gate Bridge and the 555 California Street Tower in the financial district, which is the second tallest building in the city, among other landmarks. It also shows the Las Vegas Strip at night, according to PJ Media and the Inquisitor. The scene is believed to have been shot from the pedestrian bridge at Caesar's Palace and is of similar bridge connected to the Bellagio Hotel and Casino. The Inquisitor writes that the video is accomplished by an English voiceover encouraging more attacks in San Francisco, and in the same vein at the Pulse, Incident, Orlando, and Arab subtitles are superimposed on the footage being shown. A voiceover by a member of the radical Islamic militant group who introduced himself Abu Ismail al-Amariki, which is the American, and plays in the background. The footage also displays links of press conferences following the aftermath of the gay nightclub shooting, including one from the car. Oh, car. Wow. Cars in ISIS video. Surprise, surprise. Secondly, they talk about people helping ISIS. What the fuck did you do when you did not come out and you sat there and you made excuses for why Orlando happened? You talked about how it was gun violence. You gave such a goddamn recruiting tool for ISIS. And that doesn't give... Yes, it does give a tool to them. Look at this. We've made America so goddamn scared they can't even admit what happened. They're so scared they're afraid to mention our name. They're so scared. Look what we did to that once mighty giant. And do you know what you do? You give power to people by doing that. And I know the left doesn't understand that. They're too stupid to understand it. They never understand anything when it's an argument against their dumbass bullshit anti-American ideals. We need to hit this head on. Hillary is not going to hit this head on, people. And I can't believe so many people are backing that witch up. And now you have people that have left the Republican Party. I'm a conservative and I can't vote for Trump, but I found a way that shows a path for Hillary victory that will help the Republican Party. You're fucking dumb. Anybody that says that is a full-scale helmet-wearing, window-licking fucktard. If you think that Hillary is the best choice, God help us. God help us, because that woman, we're a party that we're against Wall Street, but I'm backing Hillary, who's been paid off by more Wall Street. Oh, it's... Everything they're for, Hillary stands against, but yet they blindly push for her. I don't understand it, people. We're getting threatened left, right, and center by ISIS, and the left are either trying to help it or they're too fucking stupid to see it. And yes, that's pretty much the only choices there is. You're either too stupid or you're trying to help them. It's one or the other. There's no third option. David Cameron, he's just getting hammered. Why we want a second vote? God. Oh. And he keeps telling them there's going to be no second vote. So what does another politician stand up and do? We want a second vote. We lost and we want another vote. We're not going to do another vote. We're going to stand behind the country. This is what they voted. We want another vote. I'd just be like, listen, if you're not going to speak of something else, don't even stand up and talk. Just shut your mouth. But back to this car leapt to assist the families of San Bernardino terrorist Saeed Farouk and his terrorist wife, Tashfeen Malik, including helping them receive traditional Islamic burials. In the video, however, the Islamic State appears to group Carr in with American Muslim leaders, accusing them of cooperating with disbelievers. Despite reports in the media suggesting that Mateen was gay, FBI officials have found no evidence that he actually used apps used to meet gay men. Contrary to early reporting, it was a ruse that the media was trying to throw up there. They were trying to create doubt that it was a terrorist attack. That's all mainstream media seems to do anymore, is cover up for the left. The left have been denying about ISIS. We have dumbass Obama saying, they're done with, we're killed them, we won. Oh, God. It just, oh my God. The similarly, the Islamic State appears to be speculative about Mateen's sexuality. Sunday's video is reportedly the third the group has released, taking ownership for the Orlando attacks and encouraging others to follow Mateen's example. So, Mateen called up 911 and said, I'm doing this in the name of ISIS. ISIS puts video out. He is one of us. He did it for us. We praise him and he's ours and we take responsibility. And then we have Loretta Lynch and Obama up there going, we may never know. We may never know what his true intentions were. We may never know. All I could say, we may never know. Loretta Lynch, he called up and said he was doing it. I said, oh, that was just a root. He had nothing to do with it. He had no connection. Lynch, ISIS has put out several videos and tweets and taken responsibility and said that he was part of their group. We may never know. You need that is all speculation. But let me go out and do a crime and then go out there and call 911 and say, hey, you know what? I'm in this building and I'm doing it in the name of Christianity. Holy shit, would the left explode? Look at that. He did it in the name of Christianity. We have terrorists and Christians. Oh, my God, the end of the world. Anybody disagree with me on it? No, because that's what would go on. They are trying to cover it up. We have Americans covering up the actions of terrorists. How does that make everybody feel? Hopefully that scares the crap out of you. Because that's what it needs to do. And not like, oh my God, I'm going to run into the bedroom and hide. No, it scares the crap out of you. That makes you stand up and say, we're not going to take this bullshit anymore. And we're going to stand up against this government. And we're going to mandate our government do what it's supposed to do and act like a big boy. The Islamic State video also shows footage of President Barack Hussein Obama, speaking in the Oval Office and the White House briefing room with his image surrounded by blood splattered around the screen around him. In January of last year, ISIS had threatened to behead Obama and make America a Muslim province. Damn it, I knew they were liars. Someone put up on Facebook, if you drink 8 glasses of water a day, it's going to stop all these problems. And he's listed all the problems, and I was like, bullshit. Bullshit. I drink over 88 ounces of water with just a little bit of lemon in it to add a little flavor. And I have not lost any weight. It has not caused the dark circles under my eyes to go away. It has not caused anything except I pee a lot more. That's it. So, good old London right now. Good old London. I'm laughing. It's sick, but I'm laughing. Because they thought they were all smart. Look at this. We voted in a Muslim mayor. Look how liberal we are. Yeah. Well, that Muslim mayor has now slammed the BritX vote at a gay pride parade. Well, he's slamming the English people for deciding their own fate. Britain's vote to leave the European Union has reverberated through London's boisterous LGBT Pride Festival. The flags of European nations flew at the National Pride in London parade, which ended with a rally Trafalgar Square. London Mayor Khan. I don't know why every time I just think of Star Trek when I see him. Sadiq Khan told the crowd of thousands that Europeans in London are our friends, our family, and our neighbor. Yep. But I'm pretty sure you don't keep your house unlocked, you jackass, and allowing your neighbors to walk in at any time with no control. I don't let my family even walk in. Well, my parents, but everybody else, no. You lock your door at night, don't you? Khan says, "Gone! Recognize the huge contribution you make to our city. You are welcome here. I make you this promise as your mayor. That won't change." You know what? I don't think he gets the idea. He is mayor. He is not prime minister. He is the mayor. He don't make the rules for the country. Maybe if I speak like that, he'll understand. I don't know. It's voters in London overwhelmingly support staying in the EU, but a majority outside the capital voted to leave. Belgium George Peters, who was flying his country's flag at the parade, said he was very disappointed about the vote. "I think this is bad for the economy, and it's important that we stand together." Well, you can still stand together as nations. You don't need to be one goddamn nation. You're taking away people's identity. And if you notice, they've been doing that here in America. They've been doing it all over, trying to bash nationalities, bash country pride. Because they want to, these elitists, globalist elitists, are trying to go to a global economy and a global government. It's not a conspiracy. They're doing it out in the open. They're admitting it. And that's what's funny is there's still people denying. It's not happening. That's just a conspiracy theory. You just got a tinfoil hat on. And you're denying reality, asshole. Now, and it's going on in Parliament right now. Millions of Brits have signed a petition for another European Union referendum. Yeah, it's actually happening. People in Britain are talking seriously about the possibility of another referendum. Even though the Prime Minister says it is not happening. He was against the Britain leaving the UK. Okay? He was against it. But he's even sitting there saying, the people spoke, we are going to leave. That's the end of the story. a petition calling for another referendum on whether Britain should stay in the European Union has quickly received millions of signatures, more than 3 million as of Sunday. Problem is, there's a lot of out-of-country votes. So far as to, there's more votes coming out of Antarctic than there's actually people in Antarctic. It's like 240,000 Britons signed a petition in the Antarctic, and there's only like 38,000 Britons in the Antarctic. They've gotten caught, this petition's gotten caught using, it's like a robot petition signing. They're putting out tweets to people, hey, go ahead, sign it. We'll give you a zip code for you to use so it's in country. Even if you're out of country, we'll give you a zip code. Just message me. And I'm being serious. I'm going to delete that tweet. Oh, my God, I got caught doing it. Well, screenshots have been taken. People forget about that. Screenshots. Screenshots are beautiful and are your friend, and I do it very often, especially when it's something I think is going to be important or a chance that you're going to be dumb enough to delete. Yeah, I'm going to take a screenshot of it. And, yes, I do save them. I got a little folder on my computer. Screenshots. But, yeah, now they're trying to say they would have to have a rule change to even get another referendum put on. So they want to change the rules, have it backdated, and then those rules will be written specifically so that they can get, and that's the part they don't understand. Yes, I can create rules after the fact if I lose something that will then change the rules that allow for me to have my chance again. If anybody carried on to that little statement I just made. I know it was kind of weird. But this is what's going on. They want to come up, they have a petition, and someone think, no, this is just they want an investigation into the votes for fraud. No, it isn't. They're even trying to lie about what the petition's about to get people to sign it. That's the funny part. They are lying about what the petition's for because they know they're not going to win. I think they have like 3 million votes, so they think they should have a referendum because 3 million people signed it. It sounds like a lot. But when you look at 17 million people signed or voted in the referendum to leave the union, that's a big difference right there. But what's going on is the Leave vote won with a 51.9%. The vote, 72.2% of the population came out and voted for. That's pretty damn good result. 72% came out. So now what this petition says is they want a new referendum and that they need a rules change, so they want the rules changed to a 75% turnout. If there's not a 75% turnout, the referendum doesn't count. And that if the decision is not reached to 60%, it does not count. So they want to change the rules of the referendum. And we're going to carry more on this on the other side of the break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, and ICRN Network, and soon to be Red Nation Rising. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
Out of the ashes of liberal rises the phoenix born onto the Red Nation Rising Radio Network coming July 4th, 2016. One of the many serving this great phoenix of Red Nation Rising Network is the one, the only Jersey Joe. Jersey Joe is bringing his Reaver of Common Sense show to the birth of a new Red Nation Rising radio network.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying confidence, stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the Unpleasant Blind Guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, even better, you can go to reaver.one. That is REAVER.ONE, and click on the live stream. And lastly, we've redone the whole Reaver store. It is now being done in-house. And the store has been, well, I created the store, actually. Not just redid. I created a whole store. So go to reaver.one/ I think it's / shop. S-H-O-P, shop. So that's reaver.one / shop. Or you can just go to reaver.one, click on the link that says shop. Pick yourself up a t-shirt, why don't you? It'll be a good thing. Oh, man. It's going to be a long day. And I don't live in Reseda. Hopefully somebody will get that joke. So we had a gay pride parade in St. Pete. Hang on. I forgot where I was going to go. Oh, man. It's... During the break, I was listening to the Parliament, British House of Commons. They're all ganging up on the Prime Minister. And actually, I feel sorry for him right now. I do. I do feel sorry for the Prime Minister because he was on their side. He did not want to leave the EU. Yeah, I already knew. I got to go over that in a minute. And they're jumping all over the poor man. Like, he was he was for the leave, and he was pushing for it. No, we'll see what goes on over the coming months with the leave. But yeah, this petition that they put up, they want a recount. They want a revote. Yes, they do. And the only way they can get it is they have to change the rules. And they have to post-date those rules to kick in before, which, that's unfair right there. And that just sounds like a bunch of whiny-ass bitches that are upset they lost, so now they want to redo and all this other shit. I don't think you're going to... If anything, you're going to piss people off and they're going to go the other way. This is what's going on in the UK. Man up, deal with it. And this whole propaganda being pushed for England or for the European Union. It's a bunch of globalists, and the ones that are upset mostly are the politicians, certain group of politicians, elitists, celebrities, the 1% rich. It doesn't help the everyday person, except those that are, running around the country doing whatever they want. And as I've said before, I do not live in the European Union. I do not live in England. I can't tell them what to do. I can back them. I can agree with them. I can give them support. But this plan is a joke and just screaming from the left that they are sore losers. And that's what it comes down to. And like I said, they're finding out that a lot of these votes, or not votes, but signatures on the petition are fraudulent. They're fraudulent. Plain out and outright fraudulent. Hang on. Trying to do something. Oh, I got a bunch of new sponsors over the weekends I signed up with, got them on board. Don't know what that's about. Deal with that later. Yada, yada, yada. It just got a weird day going. Sorry, checking a few things. Trying to check a few things real quick. All right. And lastly, I want to give a shout out to the new sponsors. And not all the links are up and running just yet. Everything is still getting put in place. They're on my webpage, on the homepage, on the right-hand side. Scroll down, and you will see a list of them and the links for you to click on. I'd greatly appreciate it if you gave a little love to them and clicked on those links and checked them out for me. I don't get paid a flat fee. I only get paid when you guys check out those programs. I'm not going to constantly push them. I'm giving the information out today. The new sponsors are Mountainside Medical Equipment. I teamed up with them as a EMT for 20-25 years. It only seems pretty smart to team up with medical equipment. Craft Beer Club. Well, who doesn't love beer? CheapFlightsNow.com. Aquasina Home Water Filters. Vitamin World. And GameStop. And besides having Brownell. So if you go to Reaver.1 and click on the right, scroll down the right-hand side, you will see a list. And if you need anything for your guns, want to get a new one, go to Reaver.1, click on the Brownell link on the right-hand side. So many parts. They back up their accessories and everything. If you want to become part of the Craft Beer Club, again, just go to the page, right-hand side. I suck at doing these commercials, don't you? And then, Jenna, just go to my webpage on the right-hand side. Scroll down a little bit. You'll start seeing the list of them. Not all of the links are working just yet. It takes a couple days for how this all works. But I wanted to get them up there, and it should be up and running pretty soon. Possibly today or tomorrow. Everything should be up and running. I did so much work on the website. I know you may not see it, but there was a lot of work done to the website this weekend. Creating that store. Whew. I started that endeavor Friday night, and I didn't know what I was doing. I don't do web design. I don't do it. I don't know how to. So I love WordPress. It makes it so much easier, but I got the store up. Yes, I can't say it enough that the store is up and running. Let me see something. Because I'm trying to explain something, and I'm not picturing it in my head to explain it to everybody. Let's go to the Reaver page. Reaver.1. Just in case nobody knew what that was. If you look on the right-hand side, you'll have the SHR Media Radio. And right below it, we'll start the list. You'll start to see the list of sponsors. And the links are starting to come up working now. And more will be added as they come up. I really got to look into those. But yes. And then up top in the green, you'll see a bunch of choices. If you click on the shop, pick out, let's say, T-shirts. You get a choice between the Reaver T-shirts and the SHR Media T-shirts. I'm not going to stop selling the SHR Media stuff. I'm just taking it in-house now. I want to have control of what's going on. But let's get back to this. Sorry, I just keep looking over with the Prime Minister and all that. It's just kind of funny. Let's see where we're at. So they're trying to change the rules, and it's a joke. And it shows just how bad the left, we call them the left here, it shows just how bad and how clamoring they are to keep their power. They're scared. People are waking up, but we have it in this country. And you have a lot of people that are trying to stop it, both on the left and on the right, because both sides are, well, support this globalist group, or contingency, whatever you want to call it. And they want to, they just keep getting more power and take power away from the people. And that's what they want. They're going to make money off of making this globalist bullshit. And it's going to make the people poorer. Okay, Britain's not the only one that wants to exit it. Maybe the politicians don't, but there's a lot of people that want to leave the European Union. The European Union, it is a big fucking failure. In the eyes of the people, it is a failure. And it was one step to going to a global world. And I don't ever see it going on because Russia's going to tell us to fuck off. China, North Korea, Iran, the Middle East is going to tell us to piss off. Central America, South America, we're not going to get this globalist. I am an American. I will always be an American. I will never bow down to any other country. And like I was saying, Germany is fearing right now the BritX could trigger a domino effect, leading other nations to exit. As the European Union's founding nations rushed to an emergency meeting Saturday to consider their future, German Chancellor Angela Merkel's government reportedly fears the United Kingdom could be just the first of several nations to pull out of the alliance. And oh, by the way, since their exit, now Hong Kong wants to become part of the United Kingdoms again. That's funny. But a German government-run newspaper pleaded for the EU not to sever ties completely with Britain. Otherwise, France, Netherlands, Hungary, Austria, and Finland could lose any incentive to stay. The paper, Die Welt, called for keeping the UK an associate partner country. A Nigel Farage, whatever, Leader of the UK Independent Party celebrated the BritX vote results, describing the EU as doomed and dying. Far-right leaders in France and Netherlands called for their own referendum on staying in the EU, Sky News reported, I should say. Foreign ministers of Germany, France, Italy, and Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg met in Berlin on Saturday and said in a statement that they wanted Britain to quickly invoke the article in the EU Charter, allowing it to start negotiations on departure. Regarding other members, they said, we have to find a better way to deal with these different levels of commitment to closer European unity. Founding nations want to increase political and economical cooperation, but some newer nations are weary of giving up more sovereignty. No, and the founding countries that are part of this European Union, they don't want to give up, or they don't want, the people do not want to give up more power. They don't want to go further down this rabbit hole, but the politicians are the ones that are pushing it. And that's a big thing nowadays because it doesn't matter what country you go to. The politicians are pushing one thing, but the people want something totally different. And even countries that are supposed to be democratic. And it's scary. They're just not listening to their people. And that never ends well. Never ends well when you start having those fights. But the people are getting tired of, and it's here in America. And that's, we don't understand, how is that going to help Trump? Well, because this is exactly what Trump has been pushing. He's been pushing back to this nation first. He's against this globalist push. And he probably could make billions of dollars off a globalist push. He would make a lot of money for that. But you don't see him pushing that. He has an American pride. And that scares the shit out of these politicians. Because that's going to interfere with their endeavor for us to go to this globalist level. Huh. The only pop-up I should have on my page, Jenna, is there's an email pop-up for people to sign up to the page. Not even sign up. Just put your email, and I don't even see who's who. I don't have access to that. I have access to everything, but, I don't want to see it. And it's just, it'll tell you it'll send you an email when new articles, something new on the page comes about. And that's all that does. And that shouldn't have blocked you from shutting it down. I'll take a look into that. Because I don't want all these pop-ups and everything locking your page down. I'm not going to sit there and throw up 30,000 ads on my page. If I get too many of these sponsors and affiliates, I'm going to create a second page to find them. Because I hate going to a page and you get 30,000 ads popping up and these pop-ups and pops. I friggin' hate that. And it'll keep me from going to that page. But I need to, try to offset the cost of doing this show. And that's all I'm doing. All the money from the t-shirts will go right back into the show, upgrading equipment, upgrading can internet lines, it will just go into upgrading everything to make the show better than it is. Because no matter how great it is, I can always get better. And then I also need to start looking into doing some traveling, going to these conventions, and, that costs money. I have some other things popping up, and I might have to take the show a little mobile. And for that, I need a laptop that's pretty damn good. So, I'm not out to make money on this show. I don't plan on taking a dime. It's just so I stop bleeding my bank dry. I'm not complaining. I love doing the show, and I want a better show. So, I still got to set up that contest. I keep forgetting to do it. For those that are watching broadcasts, I got these pocket Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States, a little pocket version. Well, I'm going to be giving them out for free. So it's one of many things we're looking to do. I want to do a lot of things. Just trying to get all the ideas in place, and I don't want to put something in place that is half-assed. I don't like doing that. I'm finding it funny that Hank Paulson, Mr. Meltdown himself, cites Hillary's globalist platform as a reason for endorsement. If you don't remember Hank Paulson, he was George Bush's Treasury Secretary. Now, trust me, Jenna, I understand that. I understand. And I'm barely making ends meet on my end. Everybody, this economy is not doing any better. My wife's not working. I don't work because of my health issues. I do this. I don't make a dime. And what people don't realize is when you're doing radio, you don't get paid by the stations. You pay stations for your airtime. And you got to go out and get sponsors and all that. Well, all right, I call it, there are sponsors, but what I'm putting up, it's called affiliates, is the other term used. They don't pay me outright. It's only when somebody purchases something, goes to their site, do I make any money. And like I said, that just goes paying the cost of doing this show. I do the show because I want others to understand what's going on. And I hate a lot of these shows. Maybe hate's a strong word. But you go to these shows and they speak like 5 levels above you, which is the same with what these politicians are doing. And it pisses me off because they're doing it because it's a bragging. It's, I'm above everybody else. Instead of just speaking like everybody else. And that's what I tried to do. I try to make it so everybody understands what's going on in this world. And yeah, it's not up and working, but I do have GameStop as one of my new sponsors. Trust me. I know I'm behind the time, but PlayStation 3, let's see, World of Warcraft, EverQuest, Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, and there's a couple other games I kind of stopped playing. I can't think of them off the top of my head. I'm a gamer, and I love the MMOs. So, time's getting away from me. But I do this show because it started out, I wanted to get my voice out. I was given the opportunity. The people liked what I had to say, so I continue to do it. But I want to do it. I don't want to be speaking above everybody else. I want to speak as one of you. Because that's who I am. I'm the only college education I have is from when I went to paramedic school. That's it. College wasn't in my books. I am who I am. If anybody thinks that I speak any differently than I do on this show, you're sadly mistaken. This is who I am. Do I make those jokes to my wife? Yes, I do. Does she make them right at me? Yes, she does. And that's what we love about each other. We can bust each other's balls and have fun. And we've done it since day one. And that's what I love about my wife. She can stay right up there with me, busting balls. And the way it is with me, if we're not busting your balls, and it kind of goes back to the EMS and fire. If you're not getting your balls busted by somebody, they don't like you. Because people are like, oh, look at that. They're insulting each other. They must hate each other. No, that means you actually like each other and you get along. So, all right, it is time for those breaks. Remember, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, and soon to be Red Nation Rising Radio. We will be right back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
Out of the ashes of liberal rises the phoenix born onto the Red Nation Rising Radio Network coming July 4th, 2016. One of the many serving this great phoenix of Red Nation Rising Network is the one, the only Jersey Joe. Jersey Joe is bringing his Reaver of Common Sense show to the birth of a new Red Nation Rising Radio Network.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying confidence, stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. All right. They really shouldn't have given me this program. Too much fun. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. One of the hairs from my face got onto my microphone. So when I went to talk, it went in my mouth. Ugh. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, perfect. Go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. If you like that live stream, don't forget to subscribe. And you got to check out the new and improved Reaver store. Go to Reaver.one/shop. Pick yourself up a t-shirt or two. So, as I said, in the field that I was brought up in, and it's kind of what happened with SHR. And I can't speak for them, but if we're not busting balls with somebody, you're not liked. If I'm not busting your chops, and even basically insulting you, and it's some people don't understand it, but if we're not busting balls, it means I don't like you. And that's the way I take it in life, too. If there's direct insults, and then there's insults. Well, busting balls, I should say. But this idiot, that was the George Bush's Treasury Secretary, and he presided over both the meltdown of the U.S. economy and the bailout of his closest friends and associates, has now endorsed Hillary Clinton, citing his belief that she'd be more likely to enact a globalist policy on trade and immigration as part of the reason for his endorsement. This goes to what I was saying. There's not much really difference between a Democrat and a Republican anymore. It's whether you are a globalist or a nationalist. Whether you care about the country or you care about whether you want to go to this global policy, global government. Paulson also talked about that Clinton would be more likely to cut Americans' Medicare and Social Security, which Paulson cites as a top priority following the financial collapse. Now, let me say that again. He thinks that Clinton would be more likely to cut Americans' Medicare and Social Security. He feels that the party that's always crying, they're going to do away with Medicare and all these welfare programs, he's going to do away with Social Security, he's going to throw away all these people onto the streets. No. He's backing Hillary Clinton because he feels she is more in line to do that. Paulson also is a former CEO of Goldman Sachs, which is a major backer of Hillary Clinton. According to Politico, Goldman Sachs rewarded Clinton with a total of $675,000 for 3 paid speeches that no one can show actually happened. So basically these companies can say, well, we paid her to come speak and never have the speeches. And then the left complains about money is corrupting the election process, when the biggest one that does it is Hillary Clinton. The left complains about the 1%, as Hillary is part of the 1%. They complain about Wall Street and big business having their hand in government. Hillary Clinton's the biggest offender on that part. And it's so funny how the left complains about it, but then they put Hillary Clinton as their nominee. And they back her. That's called being a hypocrite. Hypocrite. It absolutely amazes me. Absolutely amazes me. They complain. Everything they complain about, Hillary is basically against. She could say she's for all that stuff, but the money incoming shows the opposite. She says she's there to champion for women, but she backs a sexual predator. She has gone after the victims. She's attacked those victims, but she's for women. She is paid off by some of these Middle East countries, and millions of dollars she's paid off that treat their women like property, that enslave people. But they're the party that's for the people. I could keep going on with the list. As I said, she's against the, talks about against the big business. And she's paid off by Goldman Sachs. And the list goes on and on and on and on. But people keep buying into the bullshit, and I don't understand. Am I stupid, or do I just see the common sense that How can you back a candidate like Hillary, who says she's for the people as she's murdered 4 people? She said she's for the military. She hung them out to dry. She murdered 4 people because she failed to act. And then she couldn't go on the Sunday talk show because it was too stressful. How is she going to handle being president if that was too stressful for her? She's for the women, but she's bought and paid for by how many goddamn Middle Eastern countries? She's for the gay and lesbian community, but she's paid for by countries in the Middle East that murder a person because of who they sleep with. And people back her? She's never created a job. She's never created a job. She doesn't know how to create jobs. Her own donors have said that her plan is going to cause massive unemployment. Her own donors. Housing crisis. Employment crisis. Her own donors say that Trump's plan, number one, will create higher wages without enacting the minimum wage increase. There will be more jobs than people to work in with Trump's plan. Housing will become cheaper and more readily available with Trump's plan. And everybody, how are you going to do that? Well, number one, by deportation of illegal immigrants. Illegal immigrants. Everybody seems to forget that word, the illegal part. And you don't have to deport all of them, but you also start cutting off the jobs, fining, taking away people's ability to own their businesses, doing illegal practices such as hiring illegal immigrants. Guess what? Illegal immigrants don't have access to money and jobs. They will self-deport and go back home. Take away the benefits from them, the freebies. They're going to run back home. Now you create this vacuum of employment. Companies are going to have to charge or pay their employees more to keep them. Because there's going to be more openings than jobs. Now you create that the need for the American worker. So now people are able to start buying their own houses because they're getting paid higher wages. And everybody starts to benefit. And the economy will start booming. And that is what Hillary's own donors have said. Unlike her plan, where it will crash our economy by pulling in more immigrants. The more people you have, if you have more people than jobs, they could become picky and pay a lower price. Because if you don't want that job at what they're offering, there's someone else in line that's willing to take it. But if it's vice versa, where there's more jobs than people and they're trying to get people to fill those jobs, they got to do a better package to get someone to take that job. The person now has more control to say, I don't want your job. I can go to these 5 companies that are willing to pay me this. The liberals don't want that. They want the control. They want people on welfare. I don't understand it, people. I don't understand it. Hey, where's that little... Oh, it's on my screen. I seen like this little white dot on my shirt, and I'm sitting here brushing that shirt, and it's not going away. So I move, the dot moves. So I looked, it was a piece of dust on my screen. Yes, I'm a slob. I don't clean my screens. I don't dust in my computer room as often as I should. Well, I don't dust, period. Hillary is going to be... They're trying to put the American country into a downward spiral. They're trying to destroy American pride. So nobody gives a shit when they push for this global market. Because there's no way but up after they destroyed our economy. And that is the plans. And it's not Democrats or Republican. It's globalist. And they're in both parties. Yeah, Paul Ryan, who refuses, and Marco Rubio. We're not going to stop the influx of immigrants, and we're going to not deport people. We're not going to stop the inflow of Muslims. It's un-American. Bullshit. Protecting our country is American. Protecting our people is American. That is what America stands for, not being overrun and flooded by foreigners. Throughout our history, from late 40s until the 70s, we shut immigration down. We shut it down because we had to give time for that mass influx of immigrants after World War II. We had to give time for that generation to assimilate to the American way. And now these politicians want to tell us it's un-American. Why? Because they want to push this globalist market, period. But the people are standing up. You know, there's people that, we can't win, we can't win, we can't win. Yes, we can. Look at Britain, what they just did. Look at nominating Trump against all odds. He had no shot, they said at the beginning, to be the nominee. And he is the nominee now because of the people. Record amount of people voting for him. They keep pushing the percentage of... He had the lowest percentage. He can't win. He had the record amount. You got to look at the numbers game. All right? Out of 17 total candidates, he got the record amount of votes. What was it, like 15, 16 million to be the nominee? The record stood at 13 million. And they're trying to say he got 37% of the vote. Well, when you're talking 17 people, yes, that's a large goddamn group. But then they talk about these other ones. Well, Romney got 40-some% of the vote. Yeah, what was it, out of 9 people? 10 people? You got to look at the overall numbers, not the percentages. Percentages are a little misleading there. Because it doesn't represent the true value of how many people voted. They're scared of Trump. They're scared of the politicians that are against the globalists because the people are against it. And you start putting representation into the governments of people that are against this global push, that a majority of these countries, the people in these countries, do not want. You have a large group in Germany that do not want this globalization. France. Not Neanderthal. Netherlands. Not Neanderthal. Oh, God. The list goes on and on and on. The people don't want it. It's the politicians that put it. So when we start putting in politicians that are going to stand up for what we want, well, things start to look a little better. we have to keep fighting people because there is a way to overrun this. We need to put the right politicians, whether it's yeah, Jen, and trying to do some of that with some laptops, that could be hard. It's taxing on the computer to run the live show and chat at the same time. I mean, there's a chat program that's linked in with the broadcast, but I'm trying to watch two chats, and sometimes I have trouble watching one. I felt bad when I first started doing shows. Some people came into the chat, and I didn't notice it until the end of the show, and they were talking to me, and I never saw it. I was like, shit, I feel like an idiot now. It's people, we can do a lot better. We got to put the right people in office, the ones that are going to protect us. And we got, what is it? George Will is leaving the GOP. He has said that's it. He's done. He can't be in the GOP anymore. And he actually said this. That he has left the Republican Party, and he spelled out the pro-Hillary Clinton strategy he thinks will allow the established Republicans to regain control of the party. He thinks that it's conservative of him to have Hillary Clinton elected, and it'll be good for the establishment Republicans. Establishment, globalist, elitist. You could have so many different names for them. That's what he's pushing for. He says, this is not my party. He's talking about make sure that Trump loses as a Republican. And grit their teeth and stand by for 4 years. Well, this country is at a breaking point, and this dumb motherfucker wants to push it further down the rabbit hole. It's going to take decades to correct what Obama has done to this country. It's going to take decades. And he wants to send it further down the hole, and he thinks that is what is best for the Republican Party. You're leaving the Republican Party may be the best thing for the Republican Party. Because people like you, who the fuck needs enemies? Who needs enemies in the Republican Party when you have people? He's an elitist. He's one of these globalists. He doesn't give a shit what the people want. He doesn't give a shit about what the people are thinking about. All he cares about is that he's going to make money. Bye-bye. The party is turning into what it's supposed to be for. The people, not people like you. The globalists, the elitists. It's going back to the people of the country, not the elitists, not the establishment. Because there's no difference between you and the globalist Democrats. So, I say goodbye to George Will. Thank you. And with that, it's that time of the show. Oh. And I know people don't believe it, but I am honored. I'm humbled. And I thank you for showing up and listening. And I appreciate every single one of you for what you do. Because without you, I wouldn't be able to have my voice. And I try to speak on behalf of you, for you. And that's, like I said, I these shows piss me off sometimes because they speak 20 levels above everybody, and they try to act how they're better. And some of them don't realize they're doing it, but they're no better than these elitists, globalist establishment, whatever you want to label them. Well, you're not going to see me go that route. I am one of you guys, and I always will be. Thank you. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN.
To the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.